Major Tom to ground control. I am here with Major Tom Haviland, and this is the subject that we all want to talk about. This is the thing that all the embalmers have been talking about right here. We're going to do a close-up on this so you can see this. And Tom, they've been pulling this out of bodies, huh?
Yeah, these are white fibrous clots that embalmers with 20 or 30 years of experience have never seen before until the last 3 years.
What is this? Look at how close this. I mean, this looks really disgusting, people. And I've only seen this in pictures. I've never seen this in person. But look at this. And okay, so embalmers are finding this, Major Tom?
Yeah, and they're seeing it, unfortunately, in a high percentage of the corpses. I just recently completed a survey that ended here in January of this year, just about a month ago. And 70% of embalmers, 269 embalmers responded to my survey.
Yeah.
Of those, 197, 73% are seeing these white fibrous clots in the year 2023.
This has to be what's causing the spontaneous deaths.
Died suddenly.
Yeah, died suddenly.
Yeah.
You can't live if you got that in your system. I'm sorry, but this has got to be it.
We believe they're causing strokes and heart attacks.
Yes.
The embalmers are insistent that they're forming before death because they're finding them in corpses that are only an hour or two old,
right,
and have not been refrigerated.
Yep.
So there's no way that these could have formed in just the hour or two since the person expired.
I had a friend just pass away, and because of being a Catholic, they had to do some embalming, and they usually go through the leg. They couldn't even go in a few inches into the leg. I've been hearing this has been happening quite a bit.
Right.
And they can't put
injection site points. Embalmers typically embalm the carotid artery.
Yeah.
A lot of times they can just deal with just one injection site point, flush out the entire blood system, and put in the formaldehyde.
Oh,
but with these clots, they have to do 2, 3, 4 injection site points because they're so riddled with the clots that it's actually lengthened the embalming process from about an hour and a half to about 2.5 hours.
Oh my God!
So the embalmers are frustrated on top of this.
Yeah, I mean, so did they do a chemical analysis of what this could be? Or?
Yeah, Dr. Ryan Cole has looked at these, and he determined there's 3 ingredients in them. There's fibrin. We all have a substance called fibrinogen in our blood that's in a soluble liquid state.
Okay.
But when an injury occurs to blood vessels, it converts from a liquid to a solid and forms fibrin, and that's white.
Wow.
There's also platelets in there that are in our blood system. But then there's also this strange amyloid or amyloid-like material. Amyloid is spelled A-M-Y-L-O-I-D, and it's just a fancy term for a misshaped or misfolded protein.
Okay.
And what's interesting is the embalmers that responded to my first survey said they did see this in corpses in 2020, which is the year that we had COVID with no vaccines yet. And that makes sense because there's a spike protein on the surface of the virus itself. And we think that spike protein on the surface of the virus was helping to lead to the formation of these white fibrous clots. But what embalmers saw starting with the vaccines in 2021 is an explosion of these. And what we think happened there is that the shot was supposed to stay in your deltoid muscle in your upper arm.
Right.
Produce just enough of the spike protein to elicit an immune response for just a couple of days to a week.
Correct.
And then its job is done. It's got you ready for COVID.
Right.
We know now that's not what happened.
And it's going out of control in the body.
It's going all over the body.
Wow.
Turned the whole body into a spike protein factory, and they found it doing that for months, not just a few days to a week. So the scientists I've talked to said that it supercharged the formation of these white fibrous clots.
Oh, God.
And then grow to the point where they eventually stroke you out or give you a heart attack.
So I've been noticing that this is vaccine injury, and this is what's going on. So this is going out of control. You can Google this, everybody. In America, all the embalmers have been seeing this for the last 3 months with everybody. I was thinking it was processed food.
Years.
Right. So longer than I thought. But anyways, I was thinking it was the food from China as well. But what do you think? I mean, this is probably just
This is a big deal. And not only are the embalmers seeing these white fibrous clots, and they're seeing them in about 20% of their corpses, 1 out of 5 corpses on average. Some of the embalmers are seeing these up to 50% of their corpses, still in 2023.
Oh my God.
There's also another phenomenon the embalmers responded to in this year's survey called microclotting.
Yes.
And they don't describe it as that. They describe it as what looks like coffee grounds or dirty blood coming off the corpses. They're draining the blood off the corpse, kind of the formaldehyde in.
Yes.
To see what looks like coffee grounds in the drainage. And that can be just as deadly a phenomenon because it's happening at the capillary level, your very small blood vessels. That then can impede the exchange of oxygen at the lungs and then carrying that oxygen to all the major systems, organs of the body, including your brain and your eyes.
Yes.
So, and they're seeing that in 25% of the corpses, the microclotting. They've also seen an increase in traditional grape jelly clots as well, so of about 33%. So we now have this triple whammy of these new white fibrous clots, a quintupling of microclotting, and then also a 33% rise in great dilly clots.
Do you think graphene is playing or anything like that, or
Not sure
titanium
about
dioxide or weird foods?
We're not sure. One of the theories that's out there is it's called frame shifting.
Okay.
There's a paper that came out of the University of Cambridge a few months ago.
Okay.
And it's saying it's looking at our ribosomes that are in our blood cells.
Yes.
And they're in our cells of our body, in fact.
Right.
And they believe that it's misreading the modified RNA code from the vaccine about 10% of the time. 90% of the time, it's reading it correctly and producing the correct spike protein.
Okay.
But about 10% of the time, it's misreading it, and it's actually forming what's called aberrant or nonsense proteins that then can grow to be these white amyloid material. That's one of the theories that's out there. Scientists are still looking at this.
Is there a way that everybody watching can keep in contact with you or learn more about this?
Yeah, they can contact me at Thomas Haviland at sbcglobal.net. And I especially would like to talk to embalmers. Whether you're seeing these clots or not, I want to know what you're seeing.
Yeah, well, you heard that, and we're going to type that on the bottom of the video here. Reach out to Thomas. This is a major right here, and this is major news. I'm glad I'm getting to put it on Major News Network. It's going to be on all Roku TVs in America.
Amen. Thank you.
So we have an emergency crisis. This is it.
And remember, Big Pharma's not stopping.
No.
They're going to be rolling out next year mRNA-based shots for the flu, for the shingles virus, and for the RSV virus. And Moderna has 40 of these mRNA-based injections in the pipeline. So the mRNA shots with the lipid nanoparticle technology are what's causing these things. And we're not sure, but if they are indeed causing these kind of clots and other issues such as turbo cancers, miscarriages, tinnitus, nerve damage, then we've got a big problem. Right?
And I noticed you and I are also looking at Dr. John Campbell on there as well, huh?
Absolutely.
I was, noticing some of his stuff. So I want these two great guys to get together and save our country, and we're going to be putting that stuff down on the bottom so that you can do it. Thank you so much for defending our country, and thank you so much for continuing to defend our country.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Amen, and thank you, Major Tom.
Bye-bye.